Welcome to Under the Radar, where we look past the flowers and leaves of Western culture to see what the soil is like. I'm Kirk Powell. On this 4th of July weekend, we're narrowing our focus to America to try to explain one feature of American behavior. That is, that we are bad at arguing. By bad, I don't mean that we lose arguments. Actually, I agree with Daniel Cohen that it's really weird that we say that the person who has gained a new understanding and changed their perspective on an issue is the loser of an argument. No, what I mean when I say that Americans are bad at arguing is that we tend to become belligerent and overbearing. I don't really feel the need to prove this. I think that common experience proves it well enough already. The question is, why are we so bad at arguing? Let me offer you one explanation, a sort of chain of events that is unique to this country. Step 1. Americans have, generally speaking, always had the space and means to get away from each other. In fact, that's arguably how and why the original settlers of New England came here, to get away from people they disagreed with. That trend continued. A colony was even established to take in the people who couldn't really fit in any of the others, a place to go when you disagreed with everyone. As time passed, some of the most iconic figures in American culture were people who tended to wander from place to place, frequently getting into fights. Second, with the space and means to get away from the people we disagree with, Americans have tended to group up with people we do agree with. Contemporary scholarship suggests that this geographical clumping is more prominent today than even in previous generations. We see this in a smaller but perhaps clearer way in the number and fine distinctions of churches in many towns in America. Third, having clumped up with people who are similar to us, we lose the skills to argue about our beliefs effectively and civilly. Having let those skills atrophy, we begin to think of arguments as dangerous and even destructive. To our minds, calling someone argumentative is to accuse them of a serious flaw. So, to summarize, we Americans have tended to be able to physically distance ourselves from people we disagree with, and this has led us to neglect the skills we would need to disagree effectively and respectfully. We are bad at arguing because we are out of practice, and because we are bad at it, we find it unpleasant, and so we avoid practice. It seems better to us to leave each other alone than to yell and scream at each other. And that is likely true, but there is a third option, to argue responsibly. But for that to happen, we will need to start embracing the proximity of people in our lives who do not think the way that we do, and to be a bit forgiving if the discussions don't go so well. Speaking of heated arguments, next time on Under the Radar, we take a look at some reasons why many conservative Christians are so deeply suspicious of Darwinian evolution. See you then, and thanks for watching.